analyzing data with Power BI, and a few other things that we didn't cover in visualized data. So I had said we'll wait until 5:05 for more people to join. So I think we have quite a good number now. I will just hand over to Gloria so that she can start the class. Gloria, good evening, and over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Okay, good evening. So we have Sandra, Dorcas, Lavender, and Buki. Okay, today I'll be taking analyzing data like Yinka had said. I would try my best to do the to cover. Yinka is my senior colleague. So what I'm unable to cover, Yinka will take over from there. Would that be all good?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Okay, maybe let me just share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I would already have the data that I've that I called sales data. Maybe at the end of the class, I may drop the data. So I've gotten the data into the Power BI, which we had already treated in our previous sections. Which we had already treated in our previous sections. So I already got, we all know how to get data into Power BI. Please,
I know.
the rest. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So today we'll just go straight to the analysis of the data. So this is my data, which I've called sales data. So we just jump into a analysis. I will just get the table and open up my data sets. Okay. I want to get from my data, I have a column that is sales. So I want to put that in a card visual. So that from my data, what I have is 35 million from the sales data that I have. It means this was actually the sales. Get another. You know, we need to get the data, clean up the data and do a visualization before we start analysis. So what you do with the previous steps will help you in your analysis, because if you don't get a clean data, if you don't get data that is up to date, you will not be able to. The essence of all this is to get an informed decision, make an informed decision with the data that we have collected. So from our data, we have these as sales and 11.49 million as profit. I would look for the costs, the total costs, there's costs somewhere. Okay. Get it, can also come here. Just place my total costs. The first thing we would, we would look at from this sales data that I have, we want to look at top-end analysis. Top-end analysis is used to filter in the reporting, so that you are able to get the top, either, you are able to get data from the top, who are the 5 top or 5 bets, or from the bottom. Assuming, you have a sales report and you have sales reps. So you want to, establish who are the 5 best sales rep for that period of that we have maybe in consideration. So we will just go to the top end analysis. For us to do that, let me just get the table. I have my sales. Okay, let me open up sales. Sales ID. Let me take sales name. So these are the names of the sales. Let's call them sales rep or so. So let's. What can we calculate? Okay, let's use this with sales. So we want to establish which of the sales reps brought in the highest sales. So we would come to our values. So where you have the sales name. Are you seeing, the basic filtering? We have advanced filtering, and are you seeing the top end?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. So this top end, you could use it, let's say maybe top 6 sales rep. And what are we using? We are using according to sales. We want to use the sales. So when we apply the filter, you see that the reports over here had changed. What we just have here is just the top 6 sales rep that are giving us the highest sales. So we have Bobby Russell with this figure, and then Kenneth, this is Kenneth Bradley, and so on. Do we have any questions? Please feel free to stop and ask. Is this clear so that we can move to another?
Yes, I mean, for now, yes.
Okay.
Yes, for now, yes. Thank you.
So what you just do, whatever says, or whatever metrics you want to use, once you come to your filter pane, and go to maybe your basic filtering, you have the basic, you have the advanced, and you have the top end. So you take whichever one you want to use for your analysis. We also have conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is a feature in Power BI that allows you to specify cells in colors, just like we do in Excel, based on their cells value. So we just get the data. Let's get a different data here. It gets nice. What am I going to use now? Okay, can we use? Let's do profit here. So we see this all that we have. So you just come over to your visualization, whichever one. So we want to check the profit at the profits. You see these icons here. So you just move down, you have conditional formatting, and you click whichever one you want to. If we want the background color, So we could go formats. How do you want to format it? Is it the color, scale, rules, or value? You know, what do you want to, where do you want to apply the formatting, or is it on the values only, or values and total, or just the total? So we're going to just take the value, which of the field. So we have clicked on, we have taken a profit. Did I get the figure? Okay, I'll just assume. Okay, when profit is greater, so you have to impute a number here based on your profit. So let's say maybe the minimum, let's say, I hope I. You also check your data. If what you have is percentage, you leave. If not, if it's numbers, please indicate that what you have there is numbers. And we have, you know, 10,000. So I've also changed here to numbers. Then you indicate the color that you want. Something wrong here. Did you notice when I put a figure that's maybe lower than what we have? Because the first one is going to give you have to put something maybe like your minimum, and on this side, you know, your maximum. When I didn't get that, you know, the yellow, the OK button here was rid of. So let's just, can we see that? So this is less than 200,000, and then the colors they didn't go with what we have done. So we could add another pin to it. So on our sales, so let's do conditional formatting on the sales. So you could also do the first one we did, you know, is on the background. So now we're going to do on the icons, you know, just to separate where you have the. So let's from this data, let's take maybe 200,000 or 150. You know, so I'm going to change this to numbers, and it's less than, so then the maximum should be, let's say 200. You know, you just do the same, you just keep increasing it. I've done the first one, so 200, so we could do, here should be 200,000, maybe to 200 to 300, depending on what you have on your data. Let's duplicate, so 7. So we will change this to numbers. If you don't, if you're not getting it right, this OK button would not come up. So it will still be querying your input. So you need to look at it. You could see the different icons on our reports. I think I should change this. Let me go back. So let me do this one again. So conditional formatting based on icons. Values on UK. So greater than. Let's just do. Let's use 650 here. Okay, so 3 should be 350. We're going to change all this to numbers again. These are the icons that we want to be on those numbers. You know, the diamond, the triangle, and the square, where we have these figures. I don't know why it's not showing this way. Okay, so maybe I need to increase 618. Okay, I don't have in this figure. Do you see what's happening? I don't have anything less than the lowest that I have here should be between 6, I think is
Yeah, so
680.
you should
So it's
start
not even
from
up
like 600 to
6, yeah,
800, then or
to
600, 700, 700 to 800, like that.
Okay, I'm going to take it, do that again. So once you right click on the metric that you want, so you just go to conditional formatting. So let's go to the icons. Okay, so 600 to then here would be 700,000 to 800,000. Then 800,000 maybe to, let's say 900. Let's ensure you change this to what you have. If it's percentage, you leave it. If it's numbers, remember to put it as numbers so that your formatting will be okay. That's okay. Can we see this? So this is what conditional formatting helps you to do. It allows you to specify cells, based on colors. So we could look at the green and say, okay, this within this, these are the numbers within that axis. So this actually helps a lot. That's conditional formatting. Sorry. Okay. To drag it and keep. Let's put it here. Okay. Let's also play a visual that is called play axis. Now, on your normal Power BI desktop, you not get it. You may not get it. So on these three dotted lines here, by the time you click on it, it will take you to, get more. So you go to get more visuals, and you can, if you click on it, I've already gotten it, so it's here. But once you do that, in case you don't have it on your Power BI, it will bring you to this place, which is like the marketplace, and you put the kind of what you want. So once you put the play axis, so you can get it. If you click add, it will bring it in for you. But I already have it here. So play axis is a dynamic, what I call it now, like a slicer that animates your report for you. it helps you without you needing to change or check every time you want to change a filter. So it just like an animation that just helps your report. So your report keeps changing and giving different figures that you already have in your report. So if you pick the play axis, what are we going to use now? So let me uncheck this. Maybe a table. Okay, let's take the profit and let's go with maybe a purchase date. So if you click on it to give you on the play axis, so it just comes in this way, like what do I call this now? Like a Walkman. Your Walkman, the icons, play, pause, and so this is the purchase date. So if you click on play, you could see the figures are, it will be interacting, to be telling you at this particular day, this was the sales, this is the profits, and so on. So if you come back and put, if you are trying to, okay, let's do like a format. So you want to put settings on it. Are you seeing this? What I call this now? This is the format button. So by the time you click on it, if you come to the animation settings, so we could put it on the loop. How often do you want the timing? You could change. You could say, let's say 500. You could also put in your colors. The colors are off, so you could turn the button on. The default color is black. If we go with purple, or if we go with that color, you'll see you could change the pulse to whatever colors that are, whatever color that is okay with you. So you could just play around with that, the next button and all that, whatever you could see that it is. So whatever you had imputed there. So the play axis enables you enables your reports to change the like a slicer without you going there to do it yourself, like manually. So you could just play around the visual and so on. Okay, so we could please. So we've done the play axis. The next one we're going to look at, maybe let's look at grouping and binning. Grouping and binning in Power BI, it gives you your ability for you to retain vital your data to vital places from your data and present the data without actually creating like a DAX function. So for the group, my existing still moving, sorry. Okay. For the group, you do grouping with data sets that have text values. Then when you have figures, you bin. So with your data set that have text values, you would use group. Let me just try and get a visual here. What will I use now? Okay, I have on location. So I have got states on country and and states. Assuming, okay, I have this country and I checked in my states. You can see I've already done one before, but I'll just show you how to. So you just come, if you right click on under where you have your value, you know, states. Remember I said you just click the new group. It means you want to create from a group that you already have in a report. You want to put them in other maybe smaller groups. You know, just like, so now we have got states, and because I checked in states, you know, automatically, so it's text, so the group type is list. But if you check in another metric that have numbers, it's going to give you lists of being. So from here, let's call this sort of group, let's say regions, region 2. Okay, let's say region. Or in place of region, what else can we use? Can somebody give us what we can use? What else can we call it? Are we here?
Yes, can we call it province?
Okay, let's use maybe province. It's all terminologies. Okay. So when you come, it will automatically bring out all that you have under the, maybe like, you know, we are using states now, but under the state, we want to put most of these states in provinces. So we would, you just come and click on it, right click on it. Let's do 4. So when you right click on it, you ask it to group. So what do we call this province now? What do we call this province?
Use province 1, province 2, so we don't keep cracking our head to think of names for the provinces.
Province 1. That's good. So we have province 1. So once you're there, you just right click and pick the states that you want, and you just say group, and you rename it. So this we will call province 2, and we would do the same for. So you just press your control button and you click and say group. So this will be province 3. So when you're done with others, you know, as many as, so you just click OK. So Power BI will automatically, you know, create that for you. You can see that my report is interacting with that visual. And on the field pane, you can see the states. It has actually created it for me, and the states, you know, by their province where I have my cursor. So that's what group is, grouping in Power BI. But for binning, we can use it maybe, you know, when we have like an age range in a report. Maybe we have in a report, we have different ages. We have different ages, maybe ages 20 to 30, 40, 50, you know, maybe, and we, you know, in our reports, you can have 25, 23, 34, and you know, and all that. And you just want to group those ages. You just want to put them like in an age range. So you just do the same thing for, because of this report, I don't have age. You just do the same thing that we have done for the grouping, But when you, I'm not sure I have the reports that is close by. Okay, can I? Are you seeing? Are you still seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I picked up this data set from Kaggle website. It talks about, how attack analysis and prediction data sets. So you could see the different ages that we have here, 44, 50, and all that. So I could, if I need to do that, I'm trying to see if I could do group binning on this report. So I'm going to pick, where's the age now? So we'll pick the age and let's look for this age as against chest pain. And so let's come to the age. So somebody should put me through let's know if we're really following. So I'm on the age, I want to do binning. So what do I do? I'm waiting. It means we didn't get, did we? Should I take it again?
Ask questions.
You said?
I didn't get what you meant. Really?
I was asking, okay, if we got this to do the.
From my side.
Are we here?
Okay, sure, I can hear you now.
Okay. I was asking if did we get the steps or how to do the group.
No, I didn't.
That we did.
No. Not really.
Okay. Maybe I should delete this.
Yeah.
So let's take this out. So taking it off. This might play as what is it? Okay, let's get. I said the first step, you just get a table from your visualization pane. So what we did was we took the country, checked the country and the state, whatever you want to do with your grouping. Remember I said when you're grouping, it has to do with text values, things like names of places and the rest. So you cannot group figures. So once you have done that, under this value where you have checked in the icon you want, once you click on it, once you right click, please, you see this icon, so new group. If you click on new group, because it is text, so it automatically would say lists. It means I want to list some of these things. I want to list them and put them in groups. So once you have done that, at this place, we said, okay, let's change the groups to the provinces under the states. So province. From which feed is it going to get this figure? It's from the states. So because I've clicked on the states, so it's automatically lists the states for me, all the states that you have. whatever you have, maybe you can have location. You could also do that in different locations. Maybe you want to put a mainland, island. You want to group the streets, that you have. So since we have done that, for this we have states. So I said under where you have on group values, these are the values we want to put in a group. So it will bring them here for you. So you just go click on your control button on your system and hold and move down to get the states or the things that you want to group. So I want to put this 4 in a group. Once I'm done, if you click group, it will bring it here. And remember, we'll say, okay, we want to rename them. All of them are states. So now we want to rename them to province. So we said province 1, for what will be easier for you to relate with, or people to relate with your data. Then you come and do the same thing. I've done this for province 1. So I will come back here, just click on the control button again, and take as many that I want to group in this place. Once you're done here, click this button under group again, and you rename to give it a name that you want. We said province 2. Please, until you are done, don't click the OK button. You can, until you are done with everything. So you can, that's when you click the OK button. So you press your control button and you take it in. So we have, sorry. Okay, then we put group. What happened? I need to put this in a group. So I put province 3. Are we okay up to this point?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so once we are done, once you are finished grouping all that you have in your data set, then you click OK. So as Power BI is working on it, it automatically creates a province. You will see it on your field pane that it has created what you have worked on. Power BI will automatically create that for you. So we could see all our states, Let me check this. So you could see province 1, province 2, and province 3. So you could, if you click this button, what you maybe want to put it in ascending or descending order. So it will automatically group all province 1 states together, then all province 2 states together. Where is the states running to now? Okay, let's see. It gets. I'm trying to see so that so you could see. So it has grouped all the province 2 states together. So this is actually beautiful and it makes your work neat. So this is grouping in Power BI, which gives you the ability, for your data to retain vital places. Without you just going to do a DAS expression or a DAS function. But I said we can only group text. We cannot group numbers. So assuming we have numbers, I was trying to see if I could get, okay, the data set that I picked from Kaggle and see if I could, I'm just saying condition. Please feel free to stop me at any point, so please. Okay, so I'm just going to, so let's check H and then I said chest pain. So it's giving us, look at this data set. So it's giving us the age group of those that have chest pain. So if you right click on it, so this is what I want somebody to run me. I want to do this, what I've done, what I just did for in the grouping visualization that we just did. So I want somebody to run me. So let's see.
New group. Okay.
Okay, beautiful. So we go to age. So when you right click, okay, I'm on new group. Are we seeing something quite different from what we? Yes.
Yeah.
So you could see your age group. So you could also rename, give it any other name that you want. You know, age, what are we going to do now? So age group, so age, what do we want to call this? What other
It's
name can
range or
we use?
interval.
Okay, range. Okay, age range. Beautiful. Thank you. And can you see that in this place it just said beans? Then if you look at the group type, when we did the last one, it was just list, you know, but here it just gives you the option. So you just click on bean. Now it has looked at your bean, the size of your bean. So if you look at here, it's showing me my minimum value. It means my minimum value there is 27, and the highest age range that I have is 75. So the bean size is 3. You can put as many, you know, what you want, the range that you want. So if we click OK, let's see. Power BI works on it. What happened? Really same thing. You could see it's actually meant to show. Okay.
Gloria, you may need to increase the bin size. So it seems that there isn't, how will I explain it? There's a large space between the ages. So for example, when the lowest age is 27 and you have bin size of 3, it's going to look for ages between 27 and 30. So because the next age after that is 33, it really hasn't been able to group it.
To do the binning.
So
Okay,
maybe
let's
we
go.
should increase the bin size to say 10. So any age between 10 or even maybe 15, then that
Between,
should
okay,
work.
maybe yeah. So let's see. Bin size 15. Yeah, thank you. Are we seeing it has actually grouped the age for me, you know, to this between 15 to 30, you know, to 45. The number of people that have the chest pain, you know, 60. So you can see 15 to 30, you know, is a range. 30 to 45 is another range. 45 to 60 is another range, and so on.
Can you expand the table? We can't seem to see the
Okay.
other side.
Is it better this way? Can
Yeah,
you see?
yeah, we can see
Yes.
now.
So you can see what that grouping had done, had done for us. So we have created age range, you know, and we could see the range. So from 15 to 30, 30 to 45, and on. Okay, any question? Let me go back to where we were. Do we have any question?
None from my end.
I did. Okay, the top end analysis, the play axis, and okay, we've not done the reference and line. Thank you. Can we practice this on our when we have like a data set on our own? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, I have a question on
Okay.
that play axis. That play axis, I didn't get how that works.
Okay, I said on these dotted lines here. Can you see where my cursor is?
Yes, yeah, I saw how you added it to the visualization list, but as how you formatted this, it's working with the what was it called, the data.
The data. Okay. Once you have your play axis, the same way you use the, you get a visual and use for your any of your reports. So you just put in your play axis and impute whatever you have imputed in this field, and once you plug them into your play axis, it's good to go.
Okay. Like you mentioned like interval, like putting it in 5 minutes or so.
Okay. I said if you have clicked on your play axis, if you are on this plate, you come back here.
Okay.
When you come back here, you see your animation settings. So if you check it, so you just go and click on. If it's not turned on, if it's turned off, then you see the time. You can increase it, you can decrease it.
Okay.
Depending on how you want it, then you can impute colors. You can play around with the colors, that you what you want to play the pause, the stop, the previous, and all that. So you could just do that on this.
Okay.
Yeah. So can enable all of this. You just play around with it. Your title buttons and all that. So you just, after you have done that, you just click on this middle button here that is called the format.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Yinka.
Before you continue, I have a question also.
Okay.
On just go to the other data set, the one for the heart, heart
okay.
attack or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we were grouping the age,
Yeah.
It was already on the age group, yeah? So does it mean we grouped a group for it to be the bean? Because at first we had chosen the field there, the one that's called age group. Yeah?
Yes, yeah, because you know you check I've clicked that button for the age group. So
it was already a group.
yes, it was already a group. If you
So we
look at the
created a
data,
new group
yeah,
again.
on my data set, can you see my data set here? Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, I already have different ages. But you know, if I want to group this into a range like or an interval that we just spoke about, you know, let's group 40 between 40 to 50 and all that. So if you come to your visualization page, once you click on that age group, could we do that again? Can I? I'm trying to see. Let me do it again. Okay, now back to reports. So, so this was what we did. Age. Then we took, okay, let's say we took chest pain. So we could take cholesterol. So, okay, from here, can you leave me? Let's go. So what do we do?
So you right click on the field.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Then new group.
New group, yeah.
Okay.
So you could put bean. Now the bean size. You automatically brought it to 3, but by the time we took 3, it couldn't. So you between 27 and the highest age we had there is 75. So we intend to increase this to, let's say, 50. And we said, okay. Now you can see it's telling us between this age, 15, we have 204 people, unlike the report that we had with different ages before. So between 30, we have 12,511, and 45, we have 38,650, and so on. Does that answer the question?
Yes. Yes, it does.
So let me chip in, Lavender. This is Alainka. So the question you're asking is whether we are grouping something that has already been grouped.
Yes.
Now, in this case, it wasn't grouped. It was just called age group because it's showing the group of people in this age or the number of people in this age. The group was just in the name. It's not because it had been grouped. That's number one. However, even if data has been grouped, you can still group it again if what you're trying to show requires it. And I'll give you an example. So I have ages of people, say I have ages of people, but maybe they are a lot, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I can start by grouping them into, say, gaps of 10, say 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. Then I can still redo that group into, say, children, teenagers, or children, young adults, and then adults. So it's dynamic and it's flexible. It's just depending on what you're trying to show. Because if I'm trying to do like a class, I need to first break out people into adults, children, and young adults. Then I'll break the children again into smaller classes and stuff like that. So you can really have like groups of groups if the analysis you're trying to do requires that.
Yes.
So does that answer you now?
Okay. Yes, thank you. That's clear.
Okay. So a few other things that I would just take before we end today's class. Okay, I have to share my screen now. So the first thing I want to take is called Quick Insights. And Quick Insights is like a, what's this? Quick Insights is like lazy man's way in Power BI. So how do Quick Insights work? Where is my screen? I'm coming. I'm trying to share my screen. Okay, let me just use screen. Okay. So can we see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so Quick Insights, like I said before, is the lazy man's way. Not necessarily lazy man, but sometimes maybe when you're starting out, you really don't even know where to start from, or you know, but you really can't make up your mind on what visual to use, or you just want to be lazy. There's something that is called Q&A in Power BI. So I'm using the same data set that I had used last week when we did visualization, as in stock data and all of that. So the way Q&A works is that you just come to insert and say Q&A. Q&A of course means question and answer. So you're just going to ask Power BI a question. Say, ask a question. As we can see, it says ask a question about your data. So I'll just say sales by state and then click enter. And Power BI brings up sales by state in a chart, or in a map visualization. So of course, as usual, if I want, I can change it to any other kind of visualization that I like, say a stacked bar chart or whatever, but let me just leave it as a map. Yeah. Since it's sales by state. Now, so this is as simple as it gets. So instead of picking the charts, then going to pick the things, you can just do this. It gives you exactly the same result. And for example, again, I can pick another Q&A and say, what else do we have here? Profits by like use now. Okay, by category. Immediately I said profit, it has already given me the profit. So it's waiting for me to say what I want. So I can say by category. So it also gives you suggestions of the things that are in your data. It's really very intuitive. And so you want product category, you want in stock category and all of that. So I'll just say by product category, and then it brings it up. So it really so here you say turn this into a standard visual, and then it becomes a normal visual that you can use for whatever things you want to do. Now the problem, or not necessarily a problem, Q&A, what if someone uses a terminology that is not what you saved the data as? For example, I come here and say, maybe I didn't know that you use profits, or maybe the person that I wasn't the one that pulled the data or something, and I'm just saying, for example, gains. It's going to start telling me, oh, okay, somehow it even recognizes that gains means profits. So gains by, synonyms by state. I actually wanted to use this to explain something, but somehow you managed to recognize it. But a way to teach synonyms to your data is something we had done when we were doing modeling data. In your data view here, is it in data view? No, it's here. In your schema view, in your modeling, you can actually specify the synonyms that people may use for a certain data point in your data set. So when you come here, you have all of this. So for example, category, maybe so here you see where it says synonyms. So whatever names that you know that maybe different people in different departments could use for category, you just add them here. Say group or class or whatever synonym that you really think that people in maybe different things. You can't talk here now. Please hold on. Let's go. Give me a minute. Sorry, apologies for the break. So I was saying that you just put all of the synonyms that you know that, because for example, maybe people in different departments use different terminology for the same data point. So you list all of those synonyms here so that when you come to a Q&A and somebody says, so now I've used class to as a synonym for category, and somebody says, okay, profit by class. Can you see? It gave me the same result as profit by category because I had specified in my modeling that class also means category. So I adopt this, turn this Q&A to a standard visual. So basically that's how to use Q&A. When you continue to use it, when people use it, it works like artificial intelligence. Over time, you can go to your Q&A settings and see the kind of maybe the most common questions that people have been asking and all of that. But that's available in Power BI service, not in the desktop app. So the last and final thing that we'll talk about today is reference lines. Now, reference lines give extra insight to your data. Like we have been doing today, the whole purpose of having analyzed data as a class is because anybody can build visuals, anybody can come up with visuals, but sometimes the work is not just in putting the visual there. The whole purpose of data visualization is because you want people, usually executives, to make insightful decisions with the information they get from your data. So so you don't just put a visual out there, you put something in the visual that makes it that immediately someone sees your visual, they can see the message that you're trying to pass across. So for example, in the conditional formatting that Gloria had taken earlier, by the time you put those colors there and those lines, immediately I look at it, I can immediately see that, oh, there are two states that are getting the highest or that are getting above their target or that are, and then the other one where you have rules. For example, in your organization, maybe you work in HR and you guys have a pass mark for your appraisals and say, oh, anybody that gets 90 and above is outstanding, then 70 to 90 is very good, 60 to 70 is satisfactory and stuff like that. The moment you use those kind of rules in your visual, at a glance, someone can see, oh, had nobody had distinction in their appraisal, or nobody had very good in their appraisal. So you can just quickly, what matters is the speed, because the whole purpose of this is when executives are sitting down in meetings to make decisions, they really don't have the time to go and look at the whole data set. So your job as a data analyst or as a business analyst is that you can put the information they need to see in their face and they can see it in 2 seconds without taking time to be reading the data and all of that. So that's the whole purpose of this analyze data and of doing data analysis. So I was saying that the last analysis this thing that I wanted to show us is reference lines. And reference lines mostly work when you have a time series data or data that is showing a trend of something that has happened over time. So I will draw us a line chart that has in stock data, in stock the inventory on hand over different months. Let me use months, January to date hierarchy month. Okay, so this shows our inventory moved over the different months. Now, what reference lines do for you, we'll come to where we have analytics on our visualizations pane. So this is general fields, this is format, and this is analytics. So these are all our reference lines. And the first one, I'll come back to the y-axis constant line. First one is the minimum line. And like the name implies, it just tells you which month. It just tells you which data point had the minimum, what did we put, the average inventory on hand. So you just see it there as a dotted line showing you, also immediately you can see that, oh, February had the minimum. Now this doesn't look so important, maybe because it's quite obvious, but assuming that you had data that the data points are quite close to each other between February and, like, for example, you cannot immediately see which is highest between, say, this and this. So if you have a line showing you, it makes it more obvious. And then you can change the color or every other thing that you want to do, line style and all of that. And you can even have the data label that puts the number there. So that's the first one, the minimum line. And the second one is the opposite of it, which is a maximum line. Similarly, you click add, you have the maximum line up there, so showing you which month at the maximum average inventory. So I can remove that. And the next one after that is the average line. And the average line is quite a more robust reference line. Not like the other ones are not robust, but I mean minimum and maximum is just okay. But when you have an average line, you can easily see, okay, how many months did we make more? Did we have more than the average, or how many months did we have less than the average? All those insights are usually important. For example, you have this in November that you had so much more than the average. You can start asking questions. Why did we keep so much inventory in November? And that, oh, maybe because we were preparing for the high traffic of sales that we usually have in December and all of that. So that's the average line. The next one is the median line. Should have taken out that average line so that I will do one confusion. So the next one we have is the median line. Now, can somebody tell me the difference between the average line and the median line? Because it looks like they are the same. It's average, not the middle of the data. Because that discussion comes up all the time, and I think it's even a question in the Microsoft Power BI exam. It's one of the questions I had in my exam. Asked if the average line and the median line are the same. So does someone want to try? The average line and the median line, are they not supposed to be the same? If they are not, can someone tell us what the difference is? As usual, quiet.
Right.
Okay, Dorcas is up.
Yes. The visualization, I might not be able to differentiate it, but from
No, I
statistics.
mean in real life, yes.
In real life, okay. The average is actually the middle. Like you put some figures together, you add them and get the divided by the number of the figures you have actually put in, and then you pick. So the median is actually, one would actually arrange those figures first before one picks the middle number. So from the visualization, I might not be able to pinpoint the difference. Anyways.
Okay, fantastic. So this is how we explain it. The average and the median, they are not the same. It looks like both of them mean middle, but average doesn't exactly mean middle. And another way to look at it is sum and count. The average is you have to sum up all the numbers and then divide it by So the average is dependent on the values that you have in those numbers, whether you have 5, 10, 15, 20. But the median depends on the count. It just depends on, oh, okay, I have 10 numbers. I arrange them in ascending order. Which one is in the middle? It has nothing to do with whether the values are big or the values are small or whatever. It doesn't even look at the values at all. It just counts it and comes to the middle. But the average looks at the value, adds them up, and then divides them. So the average is like a more sophisticated measure, kind of. Of course, depending on what you're doing, there are different times that you require the average and the median, but average and median are not the same. That's why when you draw the average line, you see that it's different from the median line. Even though for this data, they are quite close, but in the end, they are still different. So please, if they ask you in data analytics interview, average and median are really not the same. They are not the same, not even really. It's always in the exam.
It came out like how many times?
So average and median, they are not the same. I want to remove these two lines so that we can do the percentile line. Now the percentile line is another like a more advanced form of average. If we understand percentile in statistics, so in the percentile line now, you need to specify what percentile you want. Percentile, as the name implies in statistics, is just divide your whole data to say 1 to 100, or the measure that you're measuring 1 to 100. So which ones are in the top 10%, which ones are in the, lowest, it counts from the bottom, the lowest 10%, 20%, 30%, like that. So the percentile line allows you to specify. And this just shows you want to see the top ranking, maybe the highest 10% or stuff like that. So you can change this if you want to 60th percentile, and then it moves down. Or you can change it to 40th percentile, moves down again, or change it to say 20th percentile, like that. And please note that this is measuring percentile of the average inventory, not the month or any other thing. So the is going to just show you the values that are in the 20th percentile, then 40th percentile. So can somebody tell me, like I said, this percentile line is like an advanced form of average. So if I want to use the percentile line to show, is it average or median? Okay, I'm now confused. If I want to use the percentile line, can I, which of the other lines can be replaced by the percentile line? Is it the average or the median? Okay, I remember now. So let somebody tell us. Is it the average or the median that can be replaced with a percentile line? Nobody wants to try. So the 50th percentile is actually equal to the median. Because like I said, so this has arranged your data from top to bottom. And I said this is the middle of the data. So, and to verify that, I will just go and check the median line again, and we'll just see it. This average. Is this sorry, it's average I put. I said median. Go away. Median line. And we'll just see it. To just sit on top of the 50th percentile line. Can you see? We can't even see it. Okay, let me undash it so that we'll just see that there's another line there. Solid. So the 50th percentile is actually the median. It's same as the median, but not same as the average. So yes, those are reference lines. The last reference line, the first one actually that I jumped, is the y-axis constant line. Now this one, I'll take us back to elementary mathematics. When we did elementary mathematics, straight line, graph, and all of that, you know, we had this formula where we said y is equal to mx plus c, where c is the constant, m is what again? M is the slope, then y and x are the variables. Abi, x is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable. This y-axis constant line represents the is the line that will show your slope. So the value you're supposed to put here is the value of that c, the constant. So if you want to put the value of c here, this line actually plots the graph of your y is equal to mx plus whatever. But that is quite beyond the scope of this class, because statistics is not exactly my strong point. But so really, but that's the purpose of that reference line. And when the need arises, you know how to use it. So basically, there's a whole lot more stuff we can do in analysis, filtering, advanced filtering, and all of that. But I mean, nobody is really going to be able to teach you everything in a class, and that's why we have tried to put together the ones that are used more frequently, and then with more practice, you'll be able to get the others. Now, this is supposed to be our last or second to the last class, but there's a few things here and there in different topics that we have not really covered properly. So, I mean, they're in different parts of this thing, but basically we have tried to cover all the different aspects of Power BI, getting your data, modeling it, visualizing it, and then analyzing it. The other parts, yeah, like I said, there are a few things here and there that we might have missed out in the different sections. And also there's Power BI service, which how will I explain that? You need to have a Microsoft account to be able to use that. So Power BI service, if you were in our first class, you remember I had mentioned that Power BI is in 3 instances: Power BI mobile, Power BI desktop, and Power BI service. And Power BI service is a lot more for collaboration. So that's where you can publish your data, your dashboard, such that other people in your organization can see it. They can also do stuff on it and all of that. It's a whole lot, but like I said, you need to have a Microsoft account to be able to explore and use it. And so that's why we were not sure whether we wanted to cover it in this whole training session. So what will happen is, in our next class, we will take questions, and then I will also, before we take questions, I will try to here and there pick up some things that we have missed out that we need to cover, just touch on those ones, and also introduce Power BI service. Afterwards, we will take questions. All our mentors, I'll talk to all our mentors, all 3 of us. I'll try to see if 3 of us can be available so that we can take questions that people may have. So what this means is, so that class will likely be in 2 weeks, because next week we're having an inspirational session. So what I would just need us to do is, so you have 2 whole weeks to sort of practice everything we have learned, and also try out even some of the things that we have not learned on your own, so that you can come with all your questions to that class, because that class is going to be the final class for this cohort. And afterwards, I mean, I don't know when there will be another cohort. So basically, that's that. Does anybody have questions on what I've done so far? Any question?
Yes.
No.
Okay,
I
Sandra
have a
said yes.
question.
Or Lavender. Okay.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not. It's me.
Okay, shoot.
On the Q&A,
Okay.
once you've used it to come up with the visualization,
Yeah.
what will the end user see? Will they also be asked to put in a question, or they'll just see the
No,
chat?
they will just see the chat.
Okay, so the Q&A is just for the
It's
person
for
building
you,
the
the
report.
data analyst. Even though,
Okay.
so I think in Power BI service, your end users are also able to ask questions. And then you are the creator of that's why I said Power BI service is a lot more for collaboration. In Power BI service, your end users are able to ask questions from your data. So if there's something they need that you have not already visualized, and because they may not be experts at building the visual, your users are able to ask questions. And in fact, there is a place where you're the creator of the dashboard, you can come and see common questions that people have been asking. So that way, when you're doing, if it's a report that you do occasionally, when you're doing the report for next month, you can then decide to add that visual since a lot of people are asking for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any other question? Okay, if there are no other questions, we have come to the end of today's class, and I'll see you all on, I think our next class is 26th of June. Thank you for coming, and thank you, Gloria.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for the class.